Hello, my name is Ian Pastel, and I'm the Product Manager for the TIBCO Data Science Team Studio platform. In this video, we're going to show you the features of the Team Studio product. Team Studio is an end-to-end machine learning platform that allows data scientists, data engineers, and business users to effectively collaborate on big data analytics. Within the platform, you can create workflows using a combination of operators connected together into a graph, creating a workflow. The workflow can be used to access data, to transform and manipulate data, to create samples, to train models, to evaluate models. Data inside of TIBCO Data Science platform is accessed through the data virtualization platform. So TIBCO data virtualization is included inside of the product. TIBCO data virtualization allows you to connect to over 300 different data sources. For example, here I'm accessing data from a Postgres database and from a file system and making them visible to the Team Studio product. This means inside of Team Studio, we can see data no matter where it resides. We can visualize this data by previewing it, or we can actually visualize it graphically using graphical controls inside of the data browsing area. When we execute a workflow, in this case, a data preparation workflow, it's also possible to write data back through the DB platform. So here I'm writing a table called RCA, which ultimately gets pushed back into the data virtualization platform, which ultimately gets written to disk, in this case in the form of a Parquet file. Because we are pushing the data back through TIBCO data virtualization, it means that we can see this data through other tools. For example, Spotfire, our visual analytics platform, can see the same data set that we just created. And it can be used then to create visual analytics against that data that was created in the Team Studio transformation. When we run a job by hitting the Run button, we're submitting an application to the Spark platform. Spark can either be a standalone system or a YARN system, and the job is submitted for the whole workflow down to the Spark environment. If the workflow contains a model, the Spark ML library is used to execute that model. And once the model has been trained, we can export it using a node to our model ops system. The model ops system will receive a series of artifacts. The Spark model itself, the input and output schemas, which can then be used inside of a workflow inside of model ops, which can be executed in a production environment, monitored, and its lifecycle managed in model ops. But we can still execute models directly inside of Team Studio using the scheduler. We can, for example, determine when the model is executed, and we can see the results of model execution. When we create a workflow, it's a collaborative process. And as people make changes through the platform, this can be seen. And also the various different versions of the model that are created can be seen in its history, and we can actually go back to previous versions. We also have the capability, as well as executing workflows, to execute Python notebooks. Python notebooks can be created and can receive data from the TDV platform and write data back through the TDV platform. Once we've created the notebook, we can also execute it as part of a workflow. Users inside of Team Studio can be created or can be imported from, say, example, LDAP. Once in Team Studio, the roles of the users can be determined both in terms of their data access and what they can do inside of the platform. Finally, Team Studio is implemented as a set of Docker containers, which can be deployed locally in the customer's own environment or in the cloud. So that covers the brief features of TIBCO Data Science Team Studio. Please watch the remaining videos for more details on each section.